Hey everybody, Sledgehammer6. My name is Joe, and welcome to a video series I'm calling Destiny Level 0 to 40 Walkthrough. So, this is a video series I've been meaning to do for some time now, and I'm just getting around to doing it. I'll be playing as a Warlock, which I will use to supplement my main Warlock character. So, before we get into it, let's lay some ground rules. First, this will be a true walkthrough. This will not be one of those video series where we go from 0 to 40 fast, quote unquote. There are plenty of those series out there. They're fine for what they are, but for me, I don't really enjoy playing Destiny fast, per se. I want to savor it, if you will. So we will be playing through legit and with purpose. No, I mean, that's not to say, however, that we're aiming for 100% or anything like that. With Destiny still being really heavily dependent on team play for things like the raids and some of the other endgame content, it's going to be hard to strive for anything close to 100%. So we'll do our best. Who knows? There may be some episodes where I sneak in one or more of the raids. So we'll be doing 0 to 40. Hopefully get as high light level as possible. As of the making of this video, it's January 1st, 2017. Happy New Year. The current max light level in Destiny is 400. I suspect we'll get upwards of 390-ish. We'll see. We'll be selective in the activities we do, especially the side activities like Prison of Elders, strikes, patrols. If I do engage in them, I want them to be for a purpose, preferably instructional. After all, I want this series to be for people who may be new to Destiny and are interested in seeing a playthrough of its various aspects. So if you want to get really granular on something, go for it. There's lots of content creators out there devoted to Destiny stuff. I like Dado, for example, so feel free to look him up on your own time. Let's see what else. The same is going to be true for Crucible, which is Destiny's multiplayer or PvP play. We won't be doing heavy Crucible action. I like the Crucible, especially when there's a purpose, but I'm not a devotee by any means. If you're looking for Crucible insight, there are all manner of content available, from podcasts to YouTube, you name it. Triple Rec is a fan favorite, so you can go check him out. We also won't be diving into any lore. I really like the Destiny story, what little there is, and there is a lot of story hidden in the Grimoire cards. I'll briefly cover those later. But if lore is your thing, and if you're interested in that, there are some great YouTube channels and content creators out there. I recommend My Name is Byf, that's B-Y-F. But we won't be covering it hot and heavy in these videos. Let's see, what else before we get started? I will not be using any of the Sparks of Light, or whatever they are called these days, that will take you straight to level 40. I think I've got one in the vault here. Let me check this out. Yeah, Spark of Light. It's going to give you access to everything, but it sort of goes against the spirit of a walkthrough, so I won't be using it, tempting as it may be. I also won't be using at least I don't expect to, any of the exotics, or very many of the exotics. There are some class-specific exotics that may come our way, and if so, great, we'll use them. There are also some exotic quests that we will take on that will give us some great exotics. Obviously, too, there are some 3 of coins that we'll want to use that will occasionally give us some exotics, and I think finally there are some exotics that will obviously drop from engrams, but other than that, we really won't be grinding for any gear or weapons. I don't want to make these videos about grinding. So I'll let you know if there is some grinding to do, and you can do it on your own. So, all right, let's get into it. As you can see, I have stripped this hunter down. I didn't get very far on his subclasses. Well, I guess I did. But anyways, we're not going to be worrying about the hunters anyway. So just wanted you to see that I'm legit going to be breaking him down and deleting him. So we will take the proverbial plunge off the balcony here as our symbolic start to this journey. Alright, so now that that's over, let's go over. I'll be going over all of this user interface a little bit later in more detail, but not too much detail. Whoops, I don't want to log out. Let's just change our character. Okay. Alright, so we'll press delete here to get rid of this hunter. And that's my Warlock. We won't be using him. That's my Titan. We won't be using him. So let's create a new Guardian. So this is our first menu. Warlock, Hunter, Titan. Gives you a preview of each of the 3 subclasses that you'll be using throughout the game. Like I said, we won't be using a Titan or Hunter. We'll be creating a new Warlock. It shows a picture of a female version, but and then there's a male version for the Hunter. But I believe these are random. Yeah, there's another female version of the Titan. So those will be random. Nothing to worry about. So we're going to choose Warlock. And then we get to customize our character. Nothing too hot and heavy here. It's not like Fallout 4, if any of you have played that, where you get to, change the cheekbones of your player. You have basically some fairly basic choices here. So human, male, or female. I think we'll do male. Why not? Awoken. This is where you're changing your race, obviously, and your gender. You have 3 different races to choose from. Human, obviously Awoken, which is a sort of cross between a human being that has been somehow enlightened in some way, physically, intellectually, etc. Again, we're not going to get into the lore too much. And then Exo, which is a robot. I don't particularly care for the robot version, so I think I already have an Awoken male. So maybe we'll just stick with human. Face, we have some options here. You know what, let's go to hair first before we go to face. Choose the hair we want first. So you can play around with this, figure out the one you want. I'm going to pick one that's sort of similar to how I would look. Oh, that's pretty awesome, though. The whole man bun thing. Okay, I guess we'll go with that. Hair color. You can get as crazy as you want, I suppose. Black is really hard to see sometimes with the contrast. I guess we'll go with this brownish color. Alright, let's go back to the face now. Choose what face are we on? We're on that face. Let's make sure we didn't want any of the other ones. Oops. Oh, check it like the butt chin on that guy. He looks pretty normal. Yeah, we'll go this one. Skin color. It's probably lip color. I don't really care about. It's a little too girlish. That looks fairly normal. Eye color. Give him dark eyes. I've got dark eyes. That's just the way it's going to be. Markings. You can mess around with your markings if you want to. I don't particularly like any of the markings myself. So I will go markless. And that's good enough for me. So I'm going to finish that. And then the game will start for you. I think there's a pretty nice cutscene here. Old versions of Destiny, you could never skip through these. I think now you can. But I'm not going to. We'll just, true playthrough style, we'll let this cutscene go. It's actually a really nice cutscene. They did a good job with it. You can find some interesting conspiracy theories, and well, I guess they're not conspiracy theories, but some interesting theories about what this cutscene means, this intro scene means, why it's shot the way it was, what it might mean for the story. But we're not going to go into any of that. Essentially, what they're showing you is the finding of the Traveler, which is the big orb, floating orb that's on the front of the Destiny game covers. And there he is. There it is. The Traveler.
We called it the Traveler, and its arrival changed us forever. Great cities were built on Mars and Venus. Mercury became a garden world. Human lifespan tripled. It was a time of miracles. We stared out at the galaxy and knew that it was our destiny to walk in the light of other stars. But the Traveler had an enemy. A darkness which had hunted it for eons across the black gulfs of space. Centuries after our golden age began, this darkness found us. And that was the end of everything.
Ooh.
But it was also a beginning.
Some ominous storytelling by Bill Nye there. The great British actor. And we get a happy horn. Not really sure why they give us that, considering we don't have a Sparrow yet, which is our little hovercraft mobile. But we'll take it. It's like I said, it's January 2017, so Destiny, most of the expansions have already come out that we'll play through. But a lot of the content, gear, things like horns that you just saw, a lot of that has come out. So at times we will randomly get things delivered to us when we start, especially when you start a new character. So some of them are crap, some of them are pretty cool. So we'll sift through them as we go. So as the screen told you, this is old Russia, the Cosmodrome, and there's our ghost, who was previously voiced by Peter Dinklage. And they switched to a different guy. I forget his name. Oliver North, maybe, I think could be his name. Anyways.
Ouch.
He's searching for something, and something is searching for him. And there's the first shot of our enemies, the Fallen. Scary looking dudes. And fear not.
Is it possible?
Ghost is about to find what he's looking for.
There you are. Guardian? Eyes up, Guardian. It worked. You're alive. You don't know how long I've been looking for you. I'm a ghost. Actually, now I'm your ghost. And you? Well, you've been dead a long time. So you're going to see a lot of things you won't understand.
Yeah. Including the player who's about to play a lot of
We
stuff
aren't
that we
safe
don't
here.
understand.
I have to get you to the city. Hold still. Don't worry, I'm still with you. We need to move. Fast. We
So
won't
this is
survive
where the
long
level
out in the open
begins.
like this. Let's get inside the wall.
Right, you're looking, you've got a single jump, not much else. We're level 1. We start out with one of 2 classes. We'll get into that in a second. We've got some really basic gear here. No weapon unlocks yet. We got our happy horn, but like I said, no spare to use it on, so that's odd. We've got some emotes, shaders, some other stuff to
I didn't bring you
unlock.
back just for you to die again. We have to move.
Yeah. Alright, so first level, here we are. Point is to get inside. They actually did a nice job with this sort of mixing a tutorial, if you will, in with the first level of play.
You can hear me, right? We are going to die out here. I need you to trust me
Nice
on
job
this.
with it.
We'll be safer inside.
You can look around on your own. You're not going to die, no matter how long you take out there. So
I need to find you a weapon before the Fallen find us.
we're going to make our way in here. And we have our first mission, so to speak, our first waypoint, which is to find a weapon. And there's some creepy crawlies in there. You almost think you're playing a horror game here at first, but...
Hang tight. Fallen thrive in the dark. We won't. We need more light. I'll see what I can do. Another one of these hardened
just hanging out like
systems.
bats.
And a few centuries of entropy
I
working
guess.
against me. They're coming for us.
So he gets the light working, and they freak out.
Here, I found a rifle. Grab it.
Grab that rifle. The famous
I hope you know how to use that
S7G02. Yes, if you've played any kind of first-person shooter, you will know how to use this thing. It is basically point and pull the trigger.
What was that?
So the idea is to level up here. As much as we possibly can. We will... headshots are worth more than body shots. Obviously, your melee attack will give you more experience points. You'll see down at the bottom of your screen there, if you see that one, that green one, that's telling us our experience points, and that will move up as we continue to level up with experience points. Whoops. So we will melee that guy. Get him out of our grill. So there isn't any, I suppose, wrong way to go. You'll get the hang of making your way through this Kava stuff. It's got a lot of kick. Just not used to it. Obviously, the more weapons you get, the better they are.
Keep it up.
So you will have less recoil, things of that nature, more predictable recoil on your weapons. But for now, we've got a pretty haggard weapon. You can take a better look at it. Come over here into your character screen and just go ahead and press on the details, and you can just get a better view of your weapon. You can do that with any weapon. You'll see the stats there: rate of fire, impact, range, stability, reload speed, and then how many bullets in your magazine. These are standard attributes for most of the weapons. And they, obviously, as you can see, they vary in degrees. So here's our first
Let's see what's inside.
chest. And we have the Preacher MK20 shotgun. It's always the same. You always get the same shotgun. I think Hunters get a sniper rifle, Titans get a... I think they might get a fusion rifle. I can't remember. But just kind of building up your arsenal here as you move along. We've got it set here to Voidwalker. First, I'm going to switch that. I want to level up my Sunsinger for reasons that will become obvious later. Mainly the Gift of the... Not the Gift of the Sun. No, it's down here. Your superpower is... Fireborn, which basically lets you die and then come back to life, which is really handy if you're like me and you occasionally die. So we've got some of these trip mines.
Touch them.
You can actually shoot the trip mines, or you can just go old school and stealth-like. And didn't reload it. That was a problem. So we're gonna regroup here. Load up our shotgun and then go to town. So that's a little bit of how the what the shotgun looks like. kind of like the old school feel of this Kabah style. So this is our first sort of little test here. As you can see, we've got some baddies to take care of. Use that melee if they get in close. Too close for comfort. Oh, there's someone there, that's fine.
The Fallen have a tighter hold on this place than I thought. Just a little bit further.
So,
Let's hope there's
we're
something
making
left.
our way through this sort of tunnel series here.
This was an old cosmodrome.
And now we're out.
There's got to be
in the
something
old
we can fly up
cosmodrome.
here.
There'll be a spaceship coming through. Some random flare. I'm not sure
Incoming.
who shot that. It's pretty cool graphics here, but big fallen ship coming in. Knocks down those spaceship thingies.
Fallen ships, this close to the surface. Move!
And there's some smaller ships. Did a nice job of kind of giving you some scale. Some sense of scale, at least. Ghost wants us to move. There really isn't any great need for us to move quickly in this portion of it. We're going to a certain spot. It's always the same spot. So, I like to pick these guys off sort of one by one. It's kind of annoying. We still don't have a grenade to use, but that's alright. Not sure. Did we clear everybody out? I think we did. Some scary looking tank thing here. I don't remember that used to being there, but we do have, which we'll get into close with. I was going to say we do have our shotgun, but I like to use that if I'm in close. The shotgun's a close range weapon in Destiny. It's been nerfed, buffed, and nerfed again over the years, or over the year or so, the months. So we should be hitting level 2 here pretty soon. Kill all these guys. So anyways, as I was saying, they've nerfed it. There we go. Now we're level 2.
I'm
They
picking
kind
up
of nerfed
signs of
these
an old
shotguns
jump
over
ship. Could
over
be our
time,
ticket
and
out of here.
it's less effective now. I mean, it's less effective now because it's a crappy shotgun to begin with, but less so even with the buff or with the nerfs in terms of range. So we've leveled up our Sunsinger. Now we have a grenade, so we'll just move right in there and equip it, and then we'll keep going now that we've got a grenade. It's going to take a little bit for our grenade to charge, as you can see there in the bottom left, but it will do that. So we're making our way towards the end of this first level here, which is good because I don't want these videos to go too long. Got some baddies to take care of here. Take care of him. Let's reload before we go into an area here of a little bit of combat. Make sure we're all.
There's a ship.
There we go.
Clear them out.
So you just have to get a sense. This is your first Devil Captain experience. You get a sense of his movement, his shielded movement. And that grenade's taking a long time. Let's try not to die here. Move back a little bit. We don't have our double jump, which is annoying. Helps us get out of sticky situations like this one. Alright, now we've got our grenade, so let's show him what that looks like. Powerful grenade, area of effect type grenade.
Let me see if I
Really
can get us
useful.
out of here.
And the next cutscene. That does it for the first level.
It's been here a while. Hasn't made a jump in centuries.
So this is where we get
We're
our
lucky
first
to
ship.
fall and haven't completely picked it clean.
Will it fly?
I can make it work.
Attaboy Ghost, that's the spirit. Forgot how ridiculous the Warlock's beginning outfits are. I promise you they become more badass, but at first they are woefully
Okay, it's not going
disappointing.
to break orbit, but it just might get us to the city. Now, above that transmitter.
We'll come back for him later.
Bringing you in.
Ends up being one of our first bosses, but for now, we gotta skedaddle.
We can come back for them when you're ready. Let's get you home.
And there's the enigmatic stranger, which we will learn a little bit more about later. But I think there's a little bit more cutscene, and then we'll end up in the tower. This is our end of level recap here, showing us our rewards. And then you can R1 and R left just to re-see any of the screens. Mission summary, kills, precision kills, deaths, etc. So all of that info, if you want it, is there. Otherwise, we'll just continue. Like I said, I think there's some more cutscenes here. We'll go to the tower. We'll talk to the speaker, who will introduce himself. And then we will, like I said, I think we either end up in the tower or we end up in space, but we'll cut the video there. And then we'll move on to the next part. That'll be perfect. We'll be coming on probably 30 minutes. It's a good time. For the video, I'll try to keep these videos in the 30-minute range. Like I said in the beginning, we'll be doing some discrete things as we level up, so I'll try to keep them as object-oriented as I can. Objective-oriented, I should say. Yeah, some more cutscene. So there's the tower. Pretty cool little space. Travelers in the background, and we get plopped in.
Welcome to the last safe city on Earth. The only place the traveler can still protect. It took centuries to build. Now, we're counting every day it stands. And this tower is where the Guardians live.
Come on, game. There we go. There's some movement. I think it's probably just trying to find a... Yeah, it was trying to find a tower lobby to drop us in that had some space on the server. So now that we're in here, this is where we'll stop the first video. As you can see, we've got some waypoints that we got to go check out. We'll check out the tower. In the next video, we'll get set up to go start our mission. What you're seeing is not the typical tower appearance. It's the dawning, which is the sort of holiday period. So Bungie has decorated the tower a little differently for this period of time. I don't know if we'll get to the SRL racing, the Sparrow Racing League, or the strike competition that's going on right now. We might. I may do some videos of it, perhaps on my other character, and then just to give you a taste of what those events are like. But anyways, this is where we'll stop the video. We'll see you again for the next one, and I hope you enjoy this series. Thanks.